Good afternoon, everyone. DriveWealth is all about empowering the next generation of incredible investment experiences. We have partners all around the world building on top of our API stack, and they're delivering these products to a very vastly different of customers. They have customers who vary based on location and region, customers who vary based on asset size, some who have $10 to invest today versus $10,000 to invest today, and customers who vary based on experience, many of whom have never invested before at all. And so what we'd like to show you today is we'd like to show you a slice of a very traditional banking and investing experience, and then contrast that with some of the experiences that are being built on top of our platform. So let's go ahead and dig in. So first of all, we designed this workflow to showcase a very traditional experience of a customer who uses a big traditional bank for, let's say, checking, savings, and maybe a credit card as well. And I, as that customer, decided today that I want to start investing for the very first time. And so let's take a look at how I would go and, let's say, buy stock. So we go into the menu here of my app, and what you're going to start to notice as I go through this is there's these little bits of friction that really add up into making this a somewhat cumbersome experience. So for example, the first thing I need to do is I need to know that I need a brokerage account, right? That's the product that meets my goals today. So I select that. I have to answer a bunch of questions here, many of which this bank probably already knows about me, but either for technical or regulatory limitations, I have to answer again. And then I have to answer these questions that are a little more confusing, like when do I need access to my savings? I don't know, I've never done this before, right? What's my risk tolerance? Maybe moderate. So I finish all of this, I complete the onboarding here, and then unfortunately, a lot of times I have to wait, right? Now I have to wait 2 to 3 business days for somebody to manually go open this account. I get back, hopefully I'm still interested 2 days later, and then the next little point of frustration here is that it's totally segregated from my cash. I check my checking balance all the time. I know how much money's in there, but now I have this zero balance investment account that I have to specifically move money into before I even know what I'm going to spend it on. So I make that deposit. Hopefully that's instant. I go to my buy screen. I finally think I'm ready to do what I set out to do, which was buy Apple today. And then this is sort of the brick wall that I can't get past, in that I didn't transfer enough to buy Apple. And even if I had, let's say I moved $500, well, what if I want to buy a couple of different names? I want to invest in Apple and Uber and a few of these really large names that I interact with every day. But it's just so much mental math to figure out how to do that, right? And so this experience, it's pretty good. I mean, it's all on my phone. It's all digital, right? But it's just not frictionless. So let's put that aside for a second, and let's take a look at an example type of experience that's built on top of our platform. So here we have very similar situation. I'm a customer of this neobank, for example, and I start out with, I have $845 in cash to spend today. And although I've never done any investment functionality with this bank before, you'll notice right in the middle of my screen, this bank is saying, hey, today you spent $3.46 at Starbucks. How about you round that up to $4, you take those extra 54 cents, and you actually buy Starbucks stock, right? As a little hook to get me interested in investing, even if I didn't set out to do that today. So I say, you know what? Well, that does sound pretty easy. Let me go ahead and try that. And just like in the previous experience, we're going to do a little onboarding here. Very, very streamlined. Let me just confirm who I am. Type in my signature, and watch what happens on the right-hand side of the screen. You're going to see the actual API request that the phone would make to the DriveWealth system. And so all in the background, in the last 50 milliseconds, right, this bank took all the information it knows about me, so things like my date of birth here, my address, my employment status, and it sent that over to our API stack. It could also even send things like, if it ever had me take a picture of my photo ID, it can serialize that photo, that document, and send it over too. So in just those milliseconds, we've created a live US-based brokerage account for that customer, instantly approved, instantly ready to be traded in, and ready for the next step here, which is I'm going to go back, and I'm going to continue my original purchase, which was I'm going to take that 54 cents, that tiny little micro amount, and actually in real time buy Starbucks stock. So you'll notice we went out and we got a quote for Starbucks. We see it's trading at around 90.16, which is, you can go and check that on your phone. That's exactly what Starbucks is trading at right now. And my phone is telling me I'm about to buy 0.00598,935 shares. And yes, we can go that small and that precise. And what's even cooler is as soon as I do this, there is no waiting. We send that order to DriveWealth, and even if you're not a programmer, you can see just how simple this is. I sent in the account number, I want to do a market order of Starbucks, and I want to spend 54 cents. And our system will accept that order and fill it just like any other order on our platform. So I go back here, I go back home. Now my screen looks a little bit different, right? I have my investment balance on the top. I can go into my investments tab, and here's the position we just created. Here is that Starbucks purchase that we did, and I am a full beneficial shareholder of Starbucks stock. In fact, all the data on the screen is coming right out of the DriveWealth system. So if I open up this API request, you can see what DriveWealth sends back. So imagine if you're developing this system and you get back right here, you have your cost basis, your market value, your market price, even your PL. So as the market's going to move, that will start to populate too, all provided to you out of the box. And this app can just keep making that request and just display that data. So super easy to integrate, super easy to use. Now, this is just one example of the types of things you can do with our APIs. As you can imagine, with APIs that are that flexible, there's a whole host of different products that you can build. In this case, it was just the hook. We've converted that customer from just a spending customer who used this app for maybe a debit card and to send money to friends, to all of a sudden a spending, a saving, an investment customer. Because now he has this brokerage account. He's gone through all of the hard stuff. And so now we can start presenting him with things like, hey, next, why don't you look at some thematic portfolios I have on the bottom here? So consider investing in this technology basket or this automobiles basket. Or maybe the next right thing is a robo portfolio. And so you can imagine with APIs like that, there's really no limit to what you can build. Let's talk after the demo about how we can enable your next incredible investment experience. Thank you.